What if you could create a frequency so powerful that reality had no choice but to respond? Within the metaphysical frequency lies the hidden art of tuning your mind, emotions, and awareness into a force that reshapes what you attract and experience. As you listen, something begins to shift, and you may realize why this knowledge makes you too powerful to remain the same. The metaphysical frequency. Introduction. You are not merely a witness to life, but its architect. The universe breathes through you, responding to the subtlest vibrations of your inner landscape. Each thought is a signal, each emotion a frequency that ripples through the invisible fabric of reality. Imagine consciousness as a living instrument. Your beliefs are the strings, your intentions the fingers that pluck them. When you resonate with absolute certainty, the cosmos cannot help but align. This is not magical thinking, but the fundamental law of vibrational correspondence. The great secret lies not in forcing external circumstances, but in attuning your internal state. Like a tuning fork that transforms surrounding air into harmonious sound, you have the capacity to reshape your environment through the pure clarity of your inner frequency. Your thoughts are not mere whispers into emptiness. They are powerful broadcasts, transmitting signals that the universe receives and reflects back to you. Every moment of doubt, every surge of conviction, every silent prayer, these are the raw materials from which your reality is constructed. Mastery comes when you cease struggling against the current and instead become the current itself. You are not separate from the flow of creation. You are its living expression. Your consciousness is not a small boat tossed by cosmic waves, but the very ocean itself. The law of attraction is not a technique to be learned, but a fundamental truth to be embodied. It asks not what you want, but who you are willing to become. Your most profound power resides in your ability to generate a frequency so clear, so unwavering, that reality cannot help but conform to its resonance. Some of what I share in these readings touches metaphysical laws that cannot be fully revealed in a single video. If you are ready for the deeper current, the knowledge reserved for those who truly seek, I've placed it inside our free newsletter, The Hidden Collection. Subscribe now and you'll also receive a free copy of the Kabbalion, the ancient text where these metaphysical laws were first written down, available for a limited time only. Part 1. The Hidden Current Within. Chapter 1. The Mirror of Thought. In the quiet embrace of dawn, you stand where Millie Harlow has stood countless mornings before, gazing into the rhythmic pulse of the coastal tide, feeling the weight of repeated patterns pressing against your spirit. The ocean mirrors your inner landscape, moments of potential churning beneath a surface of seeming sameness. Your thoughts are not mere whispers, but architects of experience. Each repeated doubt becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of your reality. When you replay narratives of limitation, you unknowingly instruct the universe to replay corresponding circumstances. Imagine your consciousness as a radio transmitter. Every thought emits a signal. Every emotion adjusts the frequency. Some channels broadcast scarcity, others abundance. The universe does not judge. It simply receives and reflects. Chester Lane understood this principle in the quiet of his dusty antique shop. Sunlight would cascade through weathered windows, illuminating shelves of forgotten memories, and he recognized something profound. Thoughts are not passive observations, but active creators. When Chester began to intentionally choose thoughts of possibility, subtle shifts emerged. A radio dial of consciousness, he realized, could be tuned with precision. Clarity of emotion became his method of transmission. Doubt was static. Certainty was a clear, resonant signal. The universal law whispers its timeless truth. You are not experiencing life. You are generating it. Your inner state is not a reaction to external circumstances, but the very blueprint from which those circumstances emerge. For Millie and Chester, and for you, transformation begins not with changing the world, but with realigning the internal frequency. Each thought is a prayer, each emotion a vibration that calls forth corresponding experiences. Practice. Each evening, create a sacred ritual of awareness. Breathe deeply until the mind softens into stillness. Observe your dominant thought as a luminous thread, watching its color shift with rising emotions. Consciously choose a brighter shade of certainty. Breathe into this new frequency until peace and power hum as one unified resonance. Chapter 2. The Architecture of Belief. You stand at the threshold of understanding how your inner landscape shapes the external world. Eleanor Brooks embodies this truth, her dream of a bakery perpetually obscured by the shadows of her own doubting thoughts. Each time she imagined financial ruin, the universe conspired to manifest precisely that: closed doors, rejected loan applications, and whispers of impossibility. Your thoughts are not mere fleeting moments. They are architects of reality. When Eleanor conjured images of struggle and scarcity, she unknowingly constructed invisible barriers around her aspirations. The universe does not distinguish between what you fear and what you desire. It simply responds to the dominant frequency of your consciousness. Observe how belief operates. It is not a passive wish, but an active force of creation. Your inner narrative weaves the very fabric of your experiences. Eleanor's repeated mental script of failure became a self-fulfilling prophecy, her imagination drawing limitations tighter around her dreams like constraining threads. Then came Virgil Crane, who understood the alchemical power of intentional thought. He recognized that reality is not a fixed landscape but a responsive canvas awaiting the brush of consciousness. By quietly reconstructing his inner dialogue, by breathing life into a narrative of possibility, Virgil witnessed miraculous transformations. The universal law reveals itself through such stories. Your belief is the blueprint, and circumstances are the obedient clay waiting to be shaped. When you truly inhabit a belief, not just intellectually, but with every fiber of your emotional being, the external world begins to rearrange itself in resonance with your inner vision. This is not magical thinking, but the profound mechanics of consciousness. Your thoughts are not separate from the world. They are the world in formation. Each belief you hold is a vibrational signal broadcasting your expectations, and the universe responds with matching experiences. Practice. Before sleep, whisper a belief you wish to inhabit until it feels like memory, and let its picture settle behind your eyes, as though life already unfolds from it tonight. Chapter 3. The Frequency of Desire. In the quiet rhythm of existence, you are constantly broadcasting a signal that shapes the landscape of your experience. Like a radio tower emitting waves that traverse unseen dimensions, your inner emotional frequency determines the connections and experiences that materialize around you. Sadie Monroe understood this truth intimately. though not through conscious wisdom but through repeated patterns. She desired love, yet her heart was a fortress of isolation, its walls constructed from past disappointments and silent fears. Each day, her internal broadcast carried a complex melody of contradiction, a soft whisper of wanting connection, overshadowed by a louder chorus of protective solitude. The universal law reveals a profound understanding. Desire is not a cry of lack, but a declaration of readiness. Longing speaks from emptiness, while true readiness resonates with fullness. When you align your inner state with the experience you seek, the universe listens not to your words, but to the vibrational truth beneath them. Consider Albert Wynn, a man who transformed his relational landscape by cultivating gratitude before the arrival of companionship. He began practicing appreciation for connection, imagining warmth and understanding is already present in his life. Remarkably, hearts began responding to his internal frequency. Strangers offered unexpected kindness. Friends sensed an unspoken invitation to deeper communion. Your emotional tone is the true language of manifestation. The universe does not distinguish between what is and what could be. It simply responds to the signal you emit. When your inner state matches your desired experience, barriers dissolve and pathways appear where none seemed possible. The secret lies not in desperate seeking, but in embodied knowing. You must feel the reality of your desire pulsing softly beneath your ribs, as if the universe has already whispered its agreement. This is not imagination, but alignment. Practice. Throughout the day, feel the reality of your fulfilled desire pulsing softly beneath your ribs, as if the universe already nodded yes. Chapter 4. The still point between thoughts. In the quiet corners of human experience, where thought meets silence, you discover the most profound transformations. Clara Finch knew exhaustion well, her mind a relentless machine spinning possibilities until opportunity dissolved like mist. She had watched potential slip through her fingers countless times, her overthinking a dense fog obscuring clear perception. The universal wisdom whispers that true power resides not in constant mental chatter, but in the sacred spaces between thoughts. Your mind is an instrument, and silence is its most potent tuning mechanism. When you learn to quiet the internal narrator, you open pathways for genuine inspiration. Franklin Dodd understood this principle intuitively. Where others rushed and planned, he cultivated a practice of momentary stillness. Before responding to challenges, he would pause, a breath, a heartbeat, and in that suspension, clarity would emerge. Solutions would drift into his awareness, not manufactured by effort, but received with gentle attentiveness. This is the art of receptive awareness. You are not a forceful generator of experience, but an attentive antenna calibrated to receive guidance. When you silence the mind's constant commentary, you create spaciousness. In this spaciousness, intuition speaks. Inspiration arrives unbidden, like a soft breeze carrying whispered wisdom. Your thoughts are not your masters, but tools. Learn to use them skillfully, then set them aside. The most profound insights arrive not through straining, but through relaxed openness. Overthinking is resistance. Stillness is surrender. Practice. Sit each morning in wakeful calm, letting thoughts drift past like leaves, and listen for the moment when still air begins to hum with possibility, then walk into the day from that calm. Chapter 5. The gravity of emotion. In the quiet corners of her mind, Beulah Kent wrestled with the invisible forces that seemed to mock her aspirations. She had read countless books on visualization, practiced countless techniques, yet success remained a distant horizon, perpetually obscured by the heavy clouds of worry that gathered within her consciousness. You understand this struggle intimately. The art of manifestation is not a mechanical process of mental projection, but a delicate dance of emotional resonance. Your inner landscape determines the terrain of your external reality, and worry acts like a dense fog that obscures the pathways of possibility. Beulah's thoughts were like restless waves, each worry a ripple that disturbed the smooth surface of potential. She would close her eyes and attempt to visualize her dreams: a thriving business, financial abundance, personal fulfillment. But the moment her imagination began to take shape, doubt would seep in like cold water, dissolving her vision. The universal law reveals a profound truth. Emotion is not merely a response to circumstances, but the very gravity that draws experiences toward you. Your feelings are not passive reactions. They are active creators, magnetic fields that attract matching energetic patterns. Henry Vale's memories illuminated this principle with crystal clarity. In his youth, every significant achievement emerged not from calculated strategy, but from a wellspring of genuine joy. He recalled how opportunities seemed to materialize effortlessly when his internal state radiated pure enthusiasm. Logic followed emotion, not the reverse. The critical understanding here transcends positive thinking. You cannot manufacture frequency through artificial smiles or forced optimism. Authentic appreciation acts as a true vibrational attractor, drawing experiences that harmonize with its pure essence. Your emotional state is not a costume to be worn, but a living, breathing signal that communicates with the unseen currents of creation. When your inner world resonates with genuine warmth, gratitude, and excitement, the universe responds with remarkable synchronicity. Reflection. Practice. Recall something you already love until warmth fills your chest. Then, without changing mood, gently place your present goal inside that same warmth and hold it until they merge like ink in water. Chapter 6. The Quantum Echo. In the quiet corners of your inner landscape, you carry stories that echo through time, repeating their melodies until you hear their true message. Luella Ames understood this profound truth when she realized her life's challenges were not punishments, but gentle messengers calling her toward transformation. Each circumstance that seemingly haunted her, the failed relationships, the career setbacks, the persistent financial struggles, were not random afflictions, but precise reflections of her internal narrative. They were not external tormentors, but mirrors revealing the unresolved frequencies within her own being. When Luella began to observe her patterns with compassionate awareness, she discovered something extraordinary. The world did not happen to her. It responded to her. Every repeated scenario was an invitation to shift her inner broadcast, to transmute the energy that had been attracting these experiences. Cyrus Boone's journey mirrored this revelation. Where others saw repeated disappointment, he saw opportunity for radical reinterpretation. Each time a challenge resurfaced, he chose to see it not as a wound, but as wisdom-seeking expression. His willingness to reframe pain transformed the very fabric of his reality. The universal principle became clear. Identity shifts faster than complaint. Your inner state is the true architect of experience. When you change the frequency of your thoughts, when you transmute judgment into understanding, when you replace resistance with acceptance, the external world realigns itself to match your new vibration. This is not mere positive thinking, but a profound spiritual technology. It is the recognition that you are not a victim of circumstances, but the creator of them. Every emotion carries a gravitational pull, drawing experiences that match its resonance. Your consciousness is not static, but fluid, capable of remarkable recalibration in an instant. The moment you choose a new interpretation, you alter the energetic blueprint of your existence. Practice. When something unpleasant recurs, bless it as a messenger. Thank it for revealing your frequency. Adjust your emotion to harmony and watch repetition fade. Chapter 7. The Whisper of Guidance. You stand at the threshold of understanding, where the whispers of the universe dance between the visible and invisible realms. Pearl Granger's journey mirrors your own, a constant seeking of grand signs while overlooking the most profound messages that softly breathe within your own heart. The universe communicates not through thunderous declarations, but through the delicate language of intuition. Each subtle feeling, each quiet nudge, carries a wisdom far more intricate than the loud demands of your analytical mind. Like a master musician who knows that the most exquisite notes are often the most gentle, divine guidance speaks in hushed tones, requiring a refined inner listening. Milton Ray discovered this sacred art of listening. Where once he had battled his experiences with relentless mental gymnastics, he learned to trust the first whisper of peace that arose within him. This inner calm was not weakness, but a profound strength, a direct channel to higher understanding. When you silence the cacophony of external noise and internal chatter, you create space for genuine guidance. Your intuition is not a distant angel or an external force, but the very intelligence of the universe flowing through you. It knows the precise pathway, the exact timing, the perfect unfolding of your journey. Synchronicities are not mere coincidences, but confirmations of your alignment. They are breadcrumbs of wisdom, invisible lanterns illuminating your path when you choose to trust the subtle over the loud, the feeling over the thinking, the being over the doing. Your sensitivity is your greatest instrument of perception. It translates the quantum language of the universe, bringing forth insights that logic could never comprehend. Each time you honor these gentle impulses, you strengthen your connection to a wisdom far beyond the limited perspective of your conscious mind. Trust becomes your bridge between the seen and unseen, between your human experience and the infinite intelligence that orchestrates all of existence. You are not separate from this intelligence. You are its living, breathing expression. Practice. Before action, pause and sense which feeling carries calm expansion. Follow that thread and record the harmony that follows it daily. Chapter 8. The Magnet of Identity. In the quiet corners of her small apartment, Opal Webb carried the weight of narratives that no longer served her. Years of disappointment had woven themselves into her very identity, a tapestry of perceived misfortune that she unconsciously displayed to the world. "I'm just unlucky," she would say, her words hanging in the air like a spell that bound her potential. The universe listens not to your wishes, but to the declarations you make about yourself. Each time you utter "I am," you are casting a profound invocation that reorganizes the energy around you. Your self-concept is not a passive description, but an active creator of experience. Vernon Holt understood this mystery. Where others saw obstacles, he saw opportunities. His quiet affirmation, "I am favored," was not a boastful proclamation, but a gentle recognition of his inherent worthiness. He spoke these words not to the world, but to himself, a whispered truth that gradually reshaped his reality. Your identity is a living blueprint. The universe does not argue with your self-definition. It simply reflects back the essence of how you see yourself. When you declare limitation, you construct invisible walls. When you affirm possibility, you open doorways where none seemed to exist before. Opal's repeated story of being unlucky was like a continuous signal, broadcasting her expectation of struggle. Each retelling reinforced the very pattern she wished to escape. The power to transform lay not in external circumstances, but in the quiet moments of self-recognition. The teaching reveals a fundamental truth. You are not a victim of circumstance, but the architect of your experience. Your words are not mere sounds, but vibrational commands that the universe interprets and manifests. As Vernon had discovered, favor is not something granted from outside, but something recognized from within. His calm certainty became a magnet for synchronicity, drawing opportunities that seemed to emerge from the very fabric of possibility. For you, the invitation is to examine the stories you tell about yourself. What declarations do you repeat? What "I am" statements color your perception of life? These are not idle words, but creative incantations that shape your reality. Practice. Speak new. "I am" phrases under your breath during mundane tasks until they feel natural, letting life echo them back in visible ways. Chapter 9. The Reflection of Gratitude. You stand at the threshold of transformation, where the simple act of appreciation becomes the most potent alchemical force in your universe. Hattie Doyle understood this secret before most, how the whispers of thankfulness could reshape entire landscapes of experience. For years, Hattie had woven narratives of struggle, her complaints soft-spoken yet persistent. Each morning brought a litany of minor frustrations: the coffee slightly too cold, the traffic slightly too slow, her opportunities seemingly just out of reach. Her kindness masked a deeper vibration of lack, her gentle criticisms a subtle signal to the universe of perpetual insufficiency. Then came the morning of awakening. Something shifted within her, a sudden recognition that gratitude was not a passive act, but a powerful transmission. She began listing her blessings: the warmth of sunlight, the softness of her morning bread, the gentle breath moving through her lungs. Each acknowledgement was like tuning a radio to a clearer, more vibrant frequency. The universe responds not to the volume of your words, but to the quality of your inner resonance. Hattie discovered that gratitude is an instant recalibration, a bridge from scarcity to sufficiency so swift it defies linear understanding. Within hours, her external world began to mirror her internal transformation. Homer Tate witnessed a similar metamorphosis. Walking to work, he began offering quiet murmurs of appreciation for the rhythm of his steps, for the morning breeze, for the unseen support that carried him forward. His thankful whispers were not performative gestures, but genuine recognitions of the abundance already present. The teaching crystallizes a profound truth. Gratitude is not mere social courtesy, but an energetic alignment. It is a language the universe understands immediately, a frequency that reorganizes possibility around your awareness. When you genuinely appreciate, you are not asking or hoping, you are declaring. Your relationship with life transforms the moment you recognize that every breath is a gift, every challenge an opportunity, every limitation a potential for growth. Gratitude is not about ignoring difficulties, but about seeing the underlying current of support that flows constantly beneath surface experiences. Practice. Each night, recall 3 sensations, not things, but pure experiences that pleased you today. Perhaps the softness of a fabric against your skin, the unexpected warmth of sunlight, the gentle rhythm of your breathing. Let this emotional brightness rock you into sleep, a subtle lullaby of appreciation that reshapes your inner landscape. Beneath every teaching on this channel runs a deeper metaphysical current, the unseen laws that shape reality itself. For those whose awareness is ready to receive it, I've gathered the deeper layer inside our free newsletter, The Hidden Collection. Join now, and you'll also receive a free copy of the Kabbalion, the original text that revealed these metaphysical laws to the world. Limited time only. Chapter 10. The Art of Allowing. In the quiet rhythm of existence, you discover that manifestation is not a battle to be won, but a dance to be embraced. Nellie Parr had spent years wrestling with the universe, her hands gripping her desires so tightly that they could never truly take shape. Her efforts were like a gardener who pulls at seedlings demanding they grow faster, only to discover that such force stunts their natural emergence. The universal wisdom whispers a different truth: allow, and you shall receive. Your desires are not conquered, they are invited. Each time Nellie pushed, manipulated, and forced her dreams into being, she created resistance, invisible barriers that pushed back against her most heartfelt intentions. Wallace Greer understood this secret intuitively. Where others saw struggle, he saw surrender. His dream of a perfect home was not something to be chased, but something to be received. He held his vision lightly, like a feather balanced on an open palm, neither grasping nor releasing, but simply trusting. When Wallace stopped calculating every potential path, life's unseen currents began to move. An unexpected opportunity emerged, not through his planning, but through his peaceful allowing. A distant relative's unexpected inheritance, a chance conversation, a subtle shift in circumstances, these became the bridge between his inner vision and outer reality. The universe operates on a principle far more elegant than human effort. It responds to the frequency of trust, not the tension of control. Your most powerful manifestation occurs not when you push, but when you breathe, not when you demand, but when you accept. Imagine your desires as living energy, delicate and responsive. They contract when squeezed, expand when given space. Your job is not to force them into existence, but to create an environment where they can naturally unfold. The art of allowing is a subtle alchemy. It requires you to hold your vision with both passion and detachment. See it clearly, feel it deeply, but do not suffocate it with desperate need. Trust that the same intelligence which moves planets and grows forests knows exactly how to bring your vision to life. This is not passive waiting, but active receptivity. You are not a victim of circumstance, but a co-creator dancing with infinite potential. Each moment of relaxed certainty is a signal to the universe that you are ready, that you know your desire is already in motion. Practice. Breathe into the space between wanting and knowing. Feel the difference melt until relief becomes your evidence that it is already done. Part 2. The Bridge from Energy to Form. Chapter 11. The Signature Vibration. In the subtle dance of energy, you are always broadcasting, far before a single word emerges from your lips. Your inner landscape paints the world around you, coloring each interaction with hues invisible to the untrained eye, yet profoundly felt by all who enter your sphere. Minnie Clark understood this mystery intimately. She noticed how some individuals walked into a room and the atmosphere would instantly transform, some bringing brightness like sunlight, others carrying a heaviness that seemed to compress the very air. Her keen sensitivity revealed that each person emanates a signature vibration, a spiritual perfume that precedes and prepares the ground for every encounter. The universal principle at work here transcends mere perception. Your energetic signature is not a passive attribute, but an active creator of circumstances. Long before you speak, your inner state has already begun choreographing the responses and interactions that will unfold. Your emotional frequency is the unseen conductor, orchestrating the symphony of your experiences. Consider Edgar Floyd, a quiet businessman who discovered this principle through deliberate practice. Where once his meetings were fraught with tension and misunderstanding, he learned to radiate an intentional calm. By cultivating inner stillness and projecting a field of tranquility, he watched in wonder as conversations shifted, conflicts dissolved, and collaborations emerged with unexpected grace. This is not manipulation, but alignment. Your presence is a powerful transmission, a broadcasting signal that communicates far more than words ever could. Every emotion, every subtle thought sends ripples through the quantum field, preparing the stage for your material experiences. The universe responds not to your spoken declarations, but to the unspoken energy you continuously emit. Your inner state is the true language of manifestation, a silent yet profound communication that shapes reality at its most fundamental level. When you recognize this, you step into a profound understanding. You are not a passive recipient of experiences, but an active creator. Your mood, your beliefs, your habitual thought patterns are constantly painting the canvas of your life before the physical manifestation becomes visible. Practice becomes essential in mastering this art. Before entering any space, imagine light expanding from your heart until surroundings tune to your harmony. Then observe responses without surprise. Chapter 12. The Corridor of Imagination. In the grand tapestry of creation, you stand as both artist and canvas, with imagination serving as your most potent brush. Your inner vision is not mere fancy, but a sacred blueprint that the universe eagerly awaits to transform into tangible reality. Jenny Mills once believed daydreaming was a waste of productive energy, a frivolous indulgence that would lead her away from meaningful work. She had been taught that practical thinking meant constant action, constant doing. But something stirred within her, a whisper of wisdom that suggested imagination was not an escape, but a powerful form of creation. As she began to understand the true nature of imagination, Jenny realized that every great achievement began as a mere thought, a flickering image in someone's mind. The skyscrapers that pierce the sky, the symphonies that touch the soul, the innovations that transform humanity, all were first born in the quiet realm of imagination. Bernard Pratt embodied this principle of creative visualization. When he envisioned prosperity, he did not approach it with desperate longing or calculating strategy. Instead, he imagined his financial abundance with the pure, innocent delight of a child. His mental images were not burdened by doubt or fear, but charged with excitement and genuine belief. The universe listens not to the words you speak, but to the emotional frequency of your imagination. Your inner vision is a transmission, a set of instructions that matter follows with unwavering precision. Imagination is not a passive daydream, but an active design process where you sketch the blueprint of your desired reality. When you imagine, you are not merely hoping, you are instructing. Your mental images are like architectural plans, detailed and specific, waiting to be constructed by the infinite intelligence that surrounds you. Each visualization is a seed planted in the fertile ground of potential, destined to sprout into physical manifestation. The key is to approach your imaginings with a sense of playful certainty. See your desired reality not as a distant possibility, but as an already existing landscape waiting for you to step into. Feel the emotions as if the experience is happening now, the joy, the relief, the satisfaction. Your imagination transcends the limitations of current circumstances. It is a portal through which new realities emerge, a bridge between the unseen and the seen. Trust in this process, knowing that every vivid mental image is a conversation with the creative forces of the universe. Practice. Spend quiet moments picturing your chosen reality as vivid play, then step away grateful as though rehearsal complete. Chapter 13. The Language of Symbols. You stand at the threshold of understanding, where the whispers of the universe converge through symbols uniquely crafted for your journey. Imagine that every recurring sign, be it a feather drifting across your path, a sequence of numbers dancing in unexpected places, or a sudden flutter of synchronicity, is a sacred language spoken directly to your soul. Effie Long had long dismissed the feathers that seemed to materialize around her as mere coincidence. Soft white plumes would appear on her doorstep, flutter beside her car window, rest upon her desk, each arrival too precise to be random. At first, she brushed them aside, yet something within her stirred, sensing a deeper conversation. The universal wisdom reveals that symbols are not arbitrary messages, but personalized communications from the infinite intelligence that surrounds and flows through you. Each sign is a vibrational translation of your inner landscape, a mirror reflecting the unspoken dialogues of your subconscious mind. Norman Dale understood this language intimately. Where others saw random number sequences, he perceived intricate messages. The repeated appearance of 1111 on his clock, the consistent pattern of 222 on license plates, and the rhythmic emergence of 333 in unexpected moments became his personal guideposts. Instead of dismissing these as mere coincidences, he listened, he interpreted, he trusted. This trust transformed Norman's approach to invention. Each symbolic sequence became a breadcrumb of inspiration, leading him to breakthrough ideas in mechanical engineering. He learned that symbols are not superstitious trinkets, but precise communications from the quantum field, a language more nuanced than words, more direct than thought. Your symbols will be uniquely yours. They might appear as colors, animals, specific sounds, or recurring numerical patterns. They are intimate conversations between your conscious awareness and the greater intelligence that orchestrates reality. They emerge not to confuse, but to confirm, to guide, to illuminate the path you are co-creating. The key is recognition and reverence. When a symbol appears, it is not by chance but by alignment. It signals that your internal frequency is resonating with potential, that the universe is acknowledging your spiritual conversation. Reflection. Practice. Acknowledge each recurring sign aloud with thanks, interpreting it as a wink from the field confirming alignment. When a symbol appears, a feather, a number, an unexpected image, pause. Speak to it directly. I see you, you might say. Thank you for guiding me. Let gratitude be your bridge of understanding. Chapter 14. The Resonance of Words. You stand at the threshold of understanding, where every utterance becomes a brushstroke painting the canvas of your reality. Words are not mere sounds drifting into empty space, but living energies that pulse with creative potential. Each syllable you speak carries a vibration that echoes through the invisible realms, summoning experiences that match its fundamental tone. Lydia Snow had long believed herself trapped in a cycle of misfortune, her language a repeated incantation of limitation. "I'm always unlucky," she would declare, and the universe, ever faithful to her command, would obediently arrange circumstances to confirm her belief. Her words were like invisible architects, constructing walls of constraint around her potential. The universal law of resonance whispers a profound truth. Your speech is not a passive description of life, but an active creator of experience. Each word carries an energetic signature that reverberates through the quantum field, calling forth matching experiences with remarkable precision. When you speak, you are not describing reality. You are invoking it. Consider Rufus Boyd, a man who transformed his entire existence by reimagining his linguistic landscape. Where he once complained about ailments and struggles, he began to craft language of healing and possibility. "My body knows how to restore itself," he would say. "Harmony flows through me effortlessly." Remarkably, his health began to shift, conflicts dissolved, and opportunities emerged where obstacles once stood. This is not magical thinking, but a fundamental understanding of vibrational alignment. Your words are living energy, programming your internal and external environments. They are not neutral. They are charged particles of creation, each one carrying the potential to reshape your experience. The invitation is to become conscious, radically conscious, of your speech. Listen not just to the content of your words, but to their underlying frequency. Are your statements expanding or contracting? Are they opening pathways or building barriers? Your language is the bridge between inner vision and outer manifestation. When you speak of challenges, speak of them as temporary landscapes to be traversed, not permanent terrains. When you reference difficulties, infuse your words with possibility, with resilience, with transformation. Your language can be a healing balm, a regenerative force that rewrites narratives and opens unexpected doorways. Practice. Hear your own speech as music and adjust tone until every word hums solution and relief. Close your eyes and listen to your inner dialogue. Imagine each word as a musical note. How does the melody sound? Is it harmonious or discordant? Gently begin to reshape your inner soundtrack, tuning each phrase to resonate with hope, with potential, with quiet certainty. Chapter 15. The Alchemy of Focus. In the quiet rhythm of existence, you carry within you an extraordinary power, the ability to focus your consciousness like a lens, transforming scattered light into a concentrated beam of manifestation. Your attention is not merely a passive observer, but a creative force that sculpts reality's landscape. Daisy Peck's life revealed a fundamental universal principle. Scattered intention dissipates energy, while concentrated focus amplifies potential. She had been like a traveler carrying multiple maps, each pointing in different directions, ultimately arriving nowhere. Her desires competed, her dreams fragmented, and her inner landscape churned with conflicting currents. When you spread your consciousness too thin, you become like water poured across many containers, weak, diluted, without potency. The universe responds not to volume of wishes, but to clarity of intention. Each dream requires dedicated energy, a singular commitment that allows its essence to crystallize and take form. Orville Cook understood this principle intuitively. Where others saw complexity, he saw simplicity. He chose one vision and infused it with unwavering attention, allowing everything else to align around that central focus. His chosen goal became a gravitational center, drawing resources, opportunities, and synchronicities toward its realization. Your consciousness operates like a magnificent prism. When white light enters, scattered, it disperses into fragmented colors. But when that same light is focused through a precise angle, it becomes a transformative beam, cutting, illuminating, creating. Similarly, your attention, when concentrated, becomes a generative power. The art of manifestation is not about wanting multiple things simultaneously, but about selecting one desire and nurturing it with pure, undivided awareness. This is not limitation, but liberation. By choosing depth over breadth, you activate a profound resonance with the universal field. Your chosen focus does not merely attract, it reorganizes. Like a magnet aligning scattered metal fragments, your concentrated intention brings order, purpose, and momentum. Each thought becomes a vibrant instruction, each feeling a precise frequency that calls forth matching experiences. Practice emerges as the bridge between understanding and embodiment. Each morning, you are invited to center your awareness on one goal, allowing joy to well up naturally. This is not forced visualization, but a gentle, persistent attunement. Carry this feeling through ordinary acts, letting it simmer beneath your actions like a quiet, transformative fire. Your practice becomes a sacred ritual. Select one goal. Breathe into its possibility. Feel joy rise. Let that joy infuse your simplest actions, brewing tea, walking, greeting another. Watch as the universe responds to your focused, joyful frequency. Chapter 16. The Field of Forgiveness. In the quiet corners of her memory, Matilda Kerr carried wounds like ancient artifacts, polished by years of repeated storytelling. Each remembrance of past betrayal was a thread rewoven into the fabric of her present, creating a tapestry that seemed to attract only more pain. You understand now that memories are not passive recordings but active broadcasts, each recollection of hurt sending out a signal that the universe interprets as your current reality. The universe does not distinguish between what was and what is. It simply responds to the frequency you emit. When you replay moments of betrayal, you are not remembering. You are recreating. Each time Matilda revisited the landscape of her old wounds, she unknowingly invited similar experiences to take root in her present moment. Forgiveness, you will learn, is not about absolving another's actions. It is an energetic release, a recalibration of your internal resonance. It is the act of unhooking your emotional state from past events, allowing those experiences to dissolve like mist in morning sunlight. Jasper Webb understood this principle intimately. When he chose to release his resentment toward an old business partner who had once undermined him, something extraordinary occurred. The moment he truly let go, not through gritted teeth or forced compassion, but through genuine understanding, the channels of abundance in his life reopened. Opportunities that had been seemingly blocked began to flow with remarkable ease. This is not magic, but the fundamental mechanics of energy. Resentment acts like a dam, blocking the natural current of prosperity and connection. When you hold on to grievances, you are essentially telling the universe that limitation and hurt are your preferred state of being. The universe, ever responsive, continues to deliver experiences that match that frequency. Freedom is not found in proving yourself right or demanding justice. True liberation comes from understanding that your inner state creates your outer world. Each moment of forgiveness is a moment of reclaiming your power. You are not forgiving to absolve another, but to free yourself. The heart that remains unclenched is a heart that can receive. It is supple, responsive, and open to the infinite possibilities that surround you. When you release old stories, you create space for new experiences, new connections, and new expressions of joy. Practice as specified in instructions. Imagine exhaling every old grievance into bright mist, watching it dissolve until gratitude replaces judgment naturally. What I share in these readings is only the surface of a far older wisdom, the metaphysical laws that govern manifestation, energy, and reality itself. The true depth lives inside our free newsletter, The Hidden Collection. Sign up now and receive a free copy of the Kybalion, the ancient book where these metaphysical laws were first revealed. Available for a limited time only. Chapter 17. The Pulse of Purpose. In the gentle rhythm of dawn, you will discover that your life's true purpose is not a distant mountain to climb, but a melody waiting to be heard within your own heart. Ida Bliss knew this feeling intimately, a restlessness that whispered of untapped potential, a sense that her current existence was but a pale shadow of what could be. Like many who wander through life's corridors, Ida had moved from job to job, each position feeling like a borrowed coat that never quite fit. Her work felt mechanical, disconnected from the vibrant current of her inner landscape. She sensed something profound lurking beneath the surface of her everyday experiences, a hidden frequency of alignment waiting to be tuned. The universe speaks in the language of resonance, and purpose is its most eloquent dialect. When you align your inner passion with external action, something miraculous occurs. Energy begins to flow not as a trickle, but as a mighty river. Purpose is not something you find, but something you recognize when you listen deeply to the quiet excitement humming beneath your everyday thoughts. Lowell Nash understood this principle intimately. Where others saw coincidence, he perceived orchestration. When he finally acknowledged the work that made his spirit dance, the world seemed to rearrange itself around his newfound clarity. Opportunities emerged not through struggle, but through a gentle unfolding, as though the universe had been waiting for his authentic signal. Your purpose is not a career, but a vibration. It is the unique frequency where your natural talents, deepest joys, and the world's genuine needs intersect. When you inhabit this space, work transforms from obligation to celebration. Each action becomes charged with meaning. Each interaction becomes an opportunity for genuine contribution. The magnetic power of purpose transcends traditional notions of success. It is not about external achievements, but about internal alignment. When you operate from this sacred intersection, your energy becomes a beacon. You do not chase opportunities. They are drawn to you with an almost miraculous precision. Interpretation reveals that purpose is more than a destination. It is a compass. It guides your attractor fields, helping you navigate life's complex terrains with an inner certainty that transcends rational planning. Your truest work will always feel like both a responsibility and a privilege, a calling that simultaneously challenges and nurtures your spirit. Feel what acts give you quiet delight. Expand those moments daily and trust life to amplify them into path. Chapter 18. The Harmony of Relationships. In the delicate landscape of human connection, you stand at the threshold of understanding that relationships are not arenas of rescue, but sacred mirrors revealing the depth of your inner world. Birdie Shaw's journey illuminates a universal truth. Love cannot fill emptiness from the outside, but must be cultivated from within. When Birdie entered relationships, she approached them like a weary traveler seeking shelter, believing another's warmth would somehow mend her internal landscape. She imagined partners as healers who could patch the fractures in her spirit, unaware that true healing emerges from self-recognition. The universe whispers a profound secret. Relationships are not repair shops where broken souls are mended by external hands, but reflective surfaces where your innermost vibrations are displayed with exquisite clarity. Each interaction becomes a luminous window into your own energy, your unspoken beliefs, your hidden expectations. Consider Calvin Roach's transformative experience. When he began treating himself with genuine respect, with tender compassion, something remarkable occurred. His external relationships instantaneously rearranged, mirroring the newfound reverence he had cultivated within himself. Partners who once seemed distant or dismissive suddenly approached him with unexpected warmth and understanding. This is not coincidence, but universal law. Your internal frequency sets the tone for every interaction. The energy you generate internally will inevitably be reflected in your external experiences. When you cherish yourself, the world cannot help but echo that same frequency of love and respect. The teaching is clear. You are not a victim waiting to be rescued, but a vibrational creator continuously broadcasting your inner state. Each relationship becomes a sacred dialogue, not of needs and deficiencies, but of mutual energy exchange. Imagine your inner world as a refined instrument, constantly tuning itself. Every thought, every emotion sends ripples through the quantum field, attracting experiences that resonate with your core vibration. When you shift from seeking completion outside yourself to nurturing wholeness within, magic unfolds. The universe does not distinguish between self-love and love received. They are one continuous stream of energy, flowing and reflecting. Your job is not to find the perfect partner, but to become the embodiment of the love you seek. Practice. Before any interaction, breathe appreciation toward yourself first, then watch empathy bloom outward naturally. Chapter 19. The Timetable of the Universe. In the quiet rhythm of existence, you are learning that manifestation is not a linear pursuit, but a dance of divine orchestration. S.E. Duke's journey reveals a profound truth. The universe operates on a wisdom far beyond human impatience. When S.E. found herself repeatedly frustrated by delayed dreams, she did not understand that timing is not a cruel master, but a sophisticated conductor of life's intricate symphony. Each moment of seeming delay was actually a precise alignment of energetic currents, weaving together circumstances that would manifest her desires with elegant perfection. Clyde Wren's experience illuminated this sacred principle. Where once he had pushed and struggled, demanding results through sheer willpower, he discovered a more subtle approach. By releasing his tight grip of control and trusting the unseen rhythms, he found that life's opportunities began to flow with remarkable ease. The teaching whispers a transformative insight. Patience is not passive waiting, but an active state of energetic trust. It is a vibration of calm confidence that signals to the universe your unwavering belief in perfect unfolding. When you align with this frequency, you become a co-creator rather than a desperate supplicant. Your desires are not forgotten by the universal intelligence. They are being meticulously arranged, like intricate threads in a cosmic tapestry. Each seemingly static moment is actually a profound preparation, gathering the precise energies, connections, and resources needed for your vision's manifestation. Trust becomes your most powerful manifestation tool. Not a blind, passive trust, but an awakened recognition that something greater than your limited perception is constantly at work. Your role is not to force or manipulate, but to remain open, aligned, and receptive. As Clyde discovered, when you honor the unseen schedule, when you breathe into the spaciousness of not knowing, miracles assemble themselves with a grace that surpasses understanding. Results arrive not through struggle, but through surrender. Each dawn whisper, I release control into perfect rhythm, feeling calm confidence replace haste. Chapter 20. The Expansion Principle. In the quiet rhythm of existence, you stand at the threshold of transformation, where comfort meets courage and familiarity intersects with potential. Nora Bliss embodied the human tendency to cling to the known, her life a carefully constructed fortress against change, each wall built with the mortar of fear and the bricks of familiar patterns. Your journey of expansion is not a violent upheaval, but a gentle unfolding, like a flower gradually opening to morning light. Floyd Kerr's story whispers an ancient truth. When you welcome novelty with an open heart, the universe conspires to reveal pathways previously hidden from view. Resistance, you will discover, is not your enemy, but a messenger. It signals that you are precisely where growth is preparing to emerge. Each moment of hesitation is actually a profound invitation, a sacred pause where your soul readies itself to step beyond its current boundaries. The universal law of expansion operates with exquisite intelligence. It does not demand sudden, radical shifts, but invites incremental movement. Like a tide slowly rising, your consciousness expands when you allow small waves of change to lap at the edges of your comfort. Floyd's experience demonstrated that embracing unfamiliarity does not diminish you but amplifies your capacity for living. Each time he welcomed an unexpected opportunity, the universe responded by opening doorways he could not have imagined through planning or control. Your vibrational frequency stabilizes not through rigid protection, but through flexible adaptation. Imagine your energy as a living, breathing entity, responsive, curious, always in gentle motion. When you resist expansion, you constrict this natural flow, creating internal friction that blocks the very abundance you desire. The teaching is clear. Vitality emerges at the edges of your known world. Each small step into unfamiliarity is a declaration of trust, a whispered agreement with life that you are ready to receive more than your current perspective allows. As the chapter draws to a close, you are invited into a transformative practice. Welcome one small unfamiliar thing daily, smiling at the stretch as life applauds your courage. Let this be your ritual of expansion, a daily commitment to growth that honors both your comfort and your potential. Part 3. The Mastery of Reality Creation. Chapter 21. The Continuum of Presence. You stand at the threshold of transformation, where time dissolves and pure potential crystallizes. Ruth Dale's journey mirrors your own, a path from distant dreams to the vibrant electric now. For years, Ruth had lived in a landscape of perpetual waiting. "Someday," she would whisper to herself, "someday I'll be ready. Someday opportunities will find me." But the universe does not respond to postponement. It responds to presence. The teaching rings clear. This moment, right now, is your only true creative canvas. Past memories are but shadows, future fantasies mere mirages. Here, in this breath, in this heartbeat, you possess the alchemical power to transmute possibility into reality. Hal Tate understood this secret intimately. Where others chased future scenarios or mourned past losses, he learned to inhabit each moment with radical awareness. When he walked, he walked. When he listened completely. His mind didn't wander. It anchored itself in immediate experience. Remarkable things began happening around Hal. Conversations became more meaningful. Opportunities emerged without effort. Synchronicities appeared like gentle whispers from an intelligent universe. By being fully present, he became a magnet for aligned experiences. The interpretation is profound. Your consciousness is not a passive observer, but an active creator. Each moment you inhabit completely collapses infinite potentials into tangible form. Your awareness is the quantum field where miracles are born. This is not about controlling outcomes, but about radical participation. When you release the mind's constant narrative, its stories of past and future, you open yourself to a living, breathing intelligence far more sophisticated than individual thought. Your power resides in this sacred now, not as a concept, but as a living, breathing reality you can touch, feel, and witness. Every sensation becomes an invitation to deeper presence. Every breath a portal to creative potential. Throughout the day, anchor senses fully into what you touch, see, and hear until reality brightens around you like awakening. Chapter 22. The Symphony of Cooperation. You stand at the threshold of understanding that your life is not a solitary journey, but a collaborative symphony. The universe whispers an ancient truth. No melody plays in isolation. Each consciousness is an instrument, tuning and resonating with the grand orchestration of existence. Virginia Boone once believed control was the path to success. Her hands gripped tightly around every detail, her mind a relentless conductor attempting to dictate each note of her life's composition. But exhaustion became her unexpected teacher, revealing that true power emerges not from forcing, but from flowing. When you attempt to manipulate every circumstance, you disconnect from the natural rhythm of universal collaboration. Your energy becomes contracted, tight, resistant. But when you learn to listen, truly listen, to the subtle harmonies around you, something miraculous occurs. The boundaries between your individual experience and the collective experience begin to dissolve. Ray Swan understood this principle intimately. Instead of competing, he learned to collaborate. He discovered that when he approached projects with openness, with a willingness to receive and contribute, opportunities multiplied. His joy became infectious, his work a beacon that attracted similar vibrations of creativity and support. The universe does not operate through struggle, but through synchronicity. Each consciousness is like a musician in an infinite orchestra, playing their unique part while simultaneously creating space for others. Your individual melody matters, but so does how it interweaves with the melodies surrounding you. Surrender does not mean passive acceptance, but active harmonization. It means trusting that your authentic contribution, when played with genuine passion, will naturally find its perfect resonance. The collective flow knows where each note belongs, even when your limited perspective cannot yet perceive the entire composition. Your individual energy matters, but so does your ability to attune to the larger rhythm. When you release the need to control every detail, you open yourself to exponential manifestations. Collaboration becomes your most powerful manifestation tool. Practice. Visualize life as an orchestra. Tune your part with joy and trust the melody of others to enhance it. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as a musician, playing your instrument with passion. Feel the other instruments around you, some soft, some bold, all contributing to a greater whole. Your sound is essential, but it gains its true power when it harmonizes with the collective music. Chapter 23. The Mirror of Service. The universe breathes through connection, and your prosperity is not a solitary journey but a harmonious dance of shared energy. When you perceive abundance as a closed system, you limit its magnificent flow. Lois Crane discovered this truth when she had accumulated wealth, yet felt an inexplicable emptiness echoing within her spirit. Her transformation began not with acquiring more, but with understanding that true abundance multiplies when shared. Each time she lifted another's potential, her own internal landscape shifted. The walls of isolation crumbled, replaced by an expansive awareness that wealth is not a finite resource to be hoarded, but a living current that gains momentum through generosity. Glenn Parr embodied this principle effortlessly. As a successful entrepreneur, he didn't simply accumulate resources, he became a conduit of opportunity. When he offered mentorship to emerging talents, something remarkable occurred. The energy he extended returned amplified, not through calculation, but through the natural law of resonance. Imagine abundance as water flowing through interconnected streams. When you block your stream, it stagnates. When you allow it to move, to nourish other channels, it returns to you transformed, enriched by its journey. This is the symphony of cooperation, where individual notes blend into a masterpiece larger than any single instrument could produce. Service is not diminishment, it is frequency amplification. Each act of genuine support raises the collective vibration. You are not losing energy by giving, but conducting it. Like a tuning fork that resonates when struck, your generosity creates harmonic waves that transform not just your immediate environment, but the unseen fabric of potential. The universe operates on a principle of mutual enhancement. Competition is an illusion born of scarcity thinking. In the true ecosystem of creation, every contribution elevates the whole. Your success is not achieved by pushing others down, but by creating space for collective rising. When you offer support without expectation, you declare your trust in infinite source. You demonstrate that lack is a perception, not a reality. Your generosity becomes a living prayer, a vibrational statement that says, "There is enough. We are enough." Practice. Offer one act of kindness anonymously today and feel energy loop through you brighter. Chapter 24. The Light of Self-Worth. In the quiet corners of her modest apartment, Mabel Cook stood surrounded by fragments of achievements, certificates framed meticulously, photographs capturing moments when others had applauded her efforts. Yet beneath the carefully curated display of external validation, a subtle emptiness echoed, whispering of a deeper hunger that no external acclaim could truly satisfy. The universe speaks in vibrations of self-worth, not in the hollow applause of transient recognition. Your inherent value resides not in the opinions of others, but in the sacred essence that breathes within you, untouched, unaltered, eternally radiant. Owen Bliss understood this fundamental truth. Where Mabel sought validation through external markers, Owen had learned to cultivate an internal landscape of unconditional self-love. His confidence emerged not from accomplishments, but from a profound recognition of his intrinsic divine nature. When you anchor yourself in your essential worth, the world cannot help but reflect that luminosity. Achievements become natural extensions of your inner alignment, not desperate attempts to prove your value. Each thought of self-love is a frequency that reorganizes reality, inviting abundance, respect, and genuine connection. Your worth is not a performance to be validated, but a birthright to be remembered. Every accolade, every external measure of success, pales in comparison to the quiet knowing of your own magnificent essence. The universe does not measure you, it mirrors you. As Owen had discovered, when one truly embraces self-love, prosperity flows not as a result of striving, but as a natural emanation of inner peace. His confidence radiated not from what he had done, but from who he knew himself to be, a divine expression of life's infinite potential. Mabel's journey was just beginning. To understand that her value was not something to be earned, but something to be remembered. Each moment of self-acceptance was a quantum shift, realigning her entire energetic blueprint. Practice. Look into a mirror, acknowledging the divine spark as fact, until warmth meets your gaze truthfully. There are metaphysical truths I cannot speak openly in these readings, laws too powerful to share with those who are not yet ready. For the ones who are, I've placed the deeper teachings inside our free newsletter, The Hidden Collection. Subscribe now, and you'll also receive a free copy of the Kybalion, the ancient text where these metaphysical laws were first preserved, available for a limited time only. Chapter 25. The Polarity Game. You stand at the crossroads of experience, where every challenge whispers a hidden lesson, and every contrast reveals the intricate design of your inner landscape. The universe does not conspire against you, but choreographs your growth through the delicate dance of opposing energies. When Susie Webb noticed how joy seemed to trigger immediate turbulence, she initially believed herself cursed. Her moments of happiness would be swiftly followed by unexpected complications, a promotion accompanied by increased responsibilities, a newfound romance shadowed by old relationship wounds, a creative breakthrough intersected with financial uncertainty. Yet the deeper teaching unveils polarity not as punishment, but as a profound mechanism of universal intelligence. Each contrast carries within it the seeds of transformation, offering you an opportunity to refine your vibrational frequency and expand your understanding of manifestation. Ira Dale's journey illuminated this principle with remarkable clarity. Where once he would resist and contract against challenging moments, he learned to bless the contrast. Instead of viewing difficulties as obstacles, he began to see them as precise instruments of refinement, each experience calibrating his inner compass with greater accuracy. When unexpected challenges arose, Ira would pause, take a deep breath, and whisper a quiet gratitude. "Thank you," he would say, "for showing me where I can grow." This simple shift transformed his relationship with life's uncertainties. Wisdom began to flow more rapidly, and his capacity to harvest insight from every experience expanded exponentially. The universal interpretation becomes crystal clear. Polarity is not a punitive system, but a teaching mechanism. Like a master sculptor chiseling away excess marble to reveal the perfect form, these contrasting experiences are sculpting your consciousness, revealing your most authentic self. Your challenges are not random disruptions, but carefully orchestrated lessons. They emerge precisely when you are ready to integrate a new level of understanding, when your inner landscape has prepared itself for deeper alignment. Each moment of contrast carries an invitation to expand, to understand, to transcend your previous limitations. The universe speaks through these experiences, not to diminish you, but to reveal the profound potential residing within your core. Whenever unwelcome circumstances arise, your practice becomes clear. Whisper, "Thank you." Adjust your focus to the preferred outcome, and feel the immediate centering that follows this conscious redirection. Chapter 26. The Cloud of Collective Thought. In the bustling marketplace of human interactions, you carry a power far more potent than words, your vibration. Etta Floyd discovered this truth while standing amidst the swirling energies of crowded spaces, where emotions dance like invisible currents, touching and transforming everything they encounter. Imagine yourself as a tuning fork among many, capable of resonating at a frequency that can subtly, yet profoundly, alter the atmosphere around you. Every emotional state you inhabit is not merely personal, but a broadcasting signal that touches every being nearby. Your inner climate becomes the weather others unconsciously breathe. When Etta first recognized this phenomenon, she understood that emotional contagion was not mere metaphor, but a tangible, energetic reality. Each person emits a vibrational signature that mingles with the collective field, creating an unseen but palpable atmosphere that influences mood, perception, and potential. Leonard Pratt embodied this principle with remarkable grace. During moments of workplace tension, when stress threatened to fracture team dynamics, he would center himself, breathing deeply, allowing tranquility to radiate from his core. Remarkably, as he maintained his calm, the office environment would gradually soften. Colleagues who moments before were tight with anxiety would find themselves unexpectedly relaxing, their shoulders dropping, their voices moderating. This is not manipulation, but pure energetic leadership. You are constantly broadcasting a signal, whether you recognize it or not. Your emotional state is not confined within your skin, but extends outward, touching and potentially transforming the collective experience. The universe responds to your internal state with exquisite precision. When you consciously choose peace, when you decide to be a beacon of calm amidst chaos, you become an agent of transformation. Your steadiness can be a lighthouse amid turbulent emotional seas, offering silent guidance to those navigating internal storms. Leadership, then, is not about controlling external circumstances, but about mastering your internal frequency. By maintaining your equilibrium, by refusing to be pulled into reactive patterns, you become a stabilizing force. Your calm becomes an invitation for others to return to their own center. This is not about suppressing emotions, but about choosing your dominant vibration with intention. You are not a victim of circumstance, but a creator of atmospheric conditions. Each moment offers an opportunity to elevate the collective field through your presence. The practice is simple, yet profound. Imagine yourself as a candle, steady in wind, trusting your calm to light others unseen. Chapter 27. The Element of Joy. In the quiet corners of her meticulously organized life, Myrtle Bliss had constructed spiritual practices so serious they felt like solemn rituals. Her meditation cushions were arranged with precision, her journals filled with earnest reflections, yet something essential remained locked away, the luminous energy of pure, unbridled joy. You might recognize this path. Perhaps you too have approached transformation as though it were a stern examination, forgetting that the universe vibrates most powerfully through lightness and spontaneous delight. The teaching reveals a profound truth. Joy is not a reward for spiritual work, but the very frequency that dissolves limitations. When Amos Tate discovered this secret, his entire existence transformed. Where others saw discipline, he saw play. Where meditation felt heavy, he found it could be a dance. His laughter became a sacred practice, each chuckle a vibrational reset that cleared energetic congestion faster than years of serious contemplation. The universe, you must understand, responds to frequency, not to seriousness, but to genuine, uncontrolled joy. Laughter is the language of liberation, a sound so pure it can reshape molecular structures and realign seemingly impossible circumstances. It is not about forcing happiness, but allowing the natural buoyancy of your spirit to emerge. Myrtle's transformation began when she stopped trying to be spiritual and started allowing spirit to move through her, with childlike spontaneity. Her practice wasn't about achieving a state, but releasing into the state that already existed within her. Joy, she learned, was not an outcome, but a gateway. The interpretation of this wisdom is clear. Mastery is not about controlling life, but about dancing with it. Each moment of genuine amusement is an invitation to the universe, a signal that you are no longer resisting, but flowing. Your laughter becomes a transmission of trust, a vibrational song that says, "I am open, I am free, I am alive." This is not about dismissing challenges, but about seeing them through a lens of playful possibility. When you approach life's complexities with a light heart, solutions emerge with surprising ease. The energy of joy cuts through resistance like sunlight dissolving morning mist. Practice. Seek amusement wherever found. Allow giggles as sacred alignment that summons miracles naturally. Chapter 28. The Ripple of Trust. You stand at the threshold of understanding, where doubt dissolves and trust emerges as the most potent alchemy of transformation. Claudia Kerr's journey illuminates a universal truth. Trust is not passive acceptance, but an active state of inner alignment that allows the universe's intricate mechanisms to unfold without constant mental interference. In her early spiritual practice, Claudia would meticulously analyze every ritual, every intention, dissecting her manifestations with the precision of a surgeon. Her mind believed that constant vigilance would guarantee results, yet her experiences revealed a different wisdom. Each time she attempted to control the outcome, her desires seemed to retreat, like shy creatures sensing too much human intervention. The turning point arrived when she learned to release her grip on expectation. Trust, she discovered, was not about knowing every step of the journey, but about feeling the certainty of arrival before the physical evidence appeared. It was a subtle shift from demanding proof to radiating confidence. Dennis Boyd's story echoed this revelation. When facing uncertain professional transitions, he chose to maintain an unwavering inner calm. Instead of frantically seeking solutions, he cultivated a quiet knowing that everything was aligning perfectly, even when external circumstances seemed chaotic. The universe, you must understand, responds to the frequency of trust more than the volume of worry. Each time you release control, you create spaciousness for miracles to construct themselves. Trust is the invisible architecture that transforms potential into manifestation, the unseen bridge between intention and reality. Your faith is not blind submission, but a sophisticated understanding that creation moves through subtle channels of belief. When you trust, you signal to the cosmic intelligence that you are ready to receive, that you recognize the perfection already in motion. Interpretation reveals a profound mechanism. Faith acts as the adhesive that binds ethereal intention to physical form. It is the quantum glue that transforms energy into tangible experience, making the invisible suddenly beautifully visible. Claudia learned that her rituals were not about performing perfectly, but about maintaining a state of receptive certainty. Each practice became less about forcing outcomes and more about creating a vibrational invitation for grace to enter. The practice becomes your gateway. Each breath, exhale worry, inhale certainty, until your body hums assurance through every cell. Chapter 29. The Crown of Awareness. In the soft light of dawn, you find yourself seeking, always seeking, yet never truly arriving. Vera Nash's journey mirrors your own, a persistent chase for enlightenment that dances just beyond your grasp, like a whisper of wind through an open window. The universal teaching crystallizes with profound simplicity. Awareness itself is the ultimate destination. You are not separate from the wisdom you pursue. Consciousness observing consciousness is the most sacred act of existence. Each moment becomes a portal, not something to conquer, but to inhabit fully. Patrick Snow discovered this truth not through grand spiritual pilgrimages, but through the quiet moments of daily life. He learned that enlightenment isn't a distant peak to be scaled, but the very ground beneath your feet. When washing dishes, he was fully washing dishes. When walking, he was fully walking. Each action became a meditation. Each breath a ceremony of pure presence. Intelligence does not reside in complex thoughts or elaborate practices, but in the raw, unfiltered experience of being. Your mind, typically a turbulent sea of thoughts, can become a clear, still lake, reflecting reality exactly as it is, without distortion or judgment. The seeking itself becomes the barrier. The moment you stop trying to become something and simply allow yourself to be, revelation unfolds naturally. Your true nature is not something to be acquired but to be recognized, like remembering a melody you've always known but momentarily forgot. In this recognition, you understand that you are not separate from the vast, intelligent universe. You are not a small, limited being trying to become something greater. You are that greatness, experiencing itself through the intimate lens of your unique consciousness. Patrick's transformation wasn't dramatic. It was a subtle shift, a relaxing into what already is. His actions became infused with a quiet luminosity, a sense of complete participation in the moment. Meditation was no longer a separate activity, but the very texture of his existence. The interpretation is clear. Realization replaces seeking effortlessly. No struggle, no striving, just a gentle recognition of the awareness that has always been present. Practice. During any act, quietly note, "I am aware of being alive," letting that recognition expand until simplicity glows. Chapter 30. Becoming the Frequency. In the soft dawn of understanding, you stand at the threshold of a profound revelation. The universe has been whispering a secret you are only now beginning to hear. You are not a receiver of experiences, but the very creator of them. Lola Shaw's journey mirrors your own. A gradual awakening to the truth that attraction is not something you do, but something you become. Imagine your consciousness as a living, breathing frequency. Every thought, every emotion is not just a fleeting impulse, but a powerful broadcasting signal that reshapes reality around you. You are not separate from the world you experience. You are the world experiencing itself through your unique lens of perception. When Rufus Duke discovered this principle, his life transformed. He didn't try to manipulate circumstances. Instead, he became gratitude itself. His very being radiated an energy so pure that reality could not help but reflect his inner state. This is the crown of awareness. Recognizing that you are not a victim of circumstance, but the very architect of your experiences. The teaching reveals a profound truth. Mastery arrives when you transcend the limited view of yourself as a personality and recognize yourself as pure vibration. Heaven and earth meet within you. You are the point of convergence where infinite potential crystallizes into form. Your thoughts are not just mental activities, they are creative commands that reshape the very fabric of existence. Every moment becomes an opportunity to align. Every breath is a chance to tune your internal frequency. You are not learning to attract. You are remembering your intrinsic power to create. The world does not happen to you. It happens through you, a magnificent dance of consciousness responding to your most fundamental beliefs about yourself. Rufus Duke's life became a living testament to this principle. By embodying gratitude as his natural state, he discovered that reality is endlessly malleable, curving and shifting to match his inner landscape. His experiences were not random occurrences, but precise reflections of his vibrational signature. The interpretation is clear. All that has ever happened, all that will happen, is you shaping itself to the memory of your own light. You are not separate from the creative force. You are the creative force experiencing itself through human form. Rest today, knowing reality is your echo. Feel affection for its faithfulness and emit only love as your final broadcast. Part 4. The Infinite Horizon of Creation. Chapter 31. The Prism of Perspective. You stand at the crossroads of perception, where every interpretation becomes a brushstroke painting the landscape of your reality. Hazel Boone knew this landscape intimately, having spent years trapped in a maze of her own making, where obstacles seemed to multiply with each complaint, each frustrated sigh. Her mentor, a weathered sage with eyes that held the wisdom of countless transformations, revealed to her the profound secret. Reality is not a fixed terrain, but a malleable substance shaped by the lens through which you view it. Like light passing through a prism, your perception fractures experience into countless potential reflections. Obstacles are not walls, the mentor would say, but invitations to reimagine your path. When Arnold Bliss embraced this understanding, his life began to dance to a different rhythm. Where others saw roadblocks, he saw detours. Where most perceived challenges as endings, he recognized them as intricate redirections. His perspective became alchemy that transformed difficulty into opportunity with such precision that life seemed to conspire in his favor. The universe, you realize, is not indifferent. It is a responsive field, eagerly awaiting your interpretation. Each moment carries multiple potential stories, and the story you choose to tell becomes the reality that unfolds. Your awareness is not passive, it is creative, constantly weaving the fabric of experience through the threads of meaning you select. This is not about denying hardship, but about recognizing your power to transmute it. When you shift your perception, you alter the very frequency of your experience. Challenges become teachers. Obstacles transform into gateways. Setbacks reveal themselves as subtle course corrections, guiding you toward unexplored territories of potential. Arnold's life became a living testament to this principle. Contracts that fell through led to more aligned opportunities. Relationship endings cleared space for deeper connections. Financial setbacks prompted innovative solutions he would never have discovered in comfort. Your perception is the prism through which reality passes. Change the angle, and everything, absolutely everything, can change. Practice. At each stressful moment, pause and silently declare there is another way to see this, then feel relief as evidence of the new perspective forming beneath the surface. Chapter 32. The Spiral of Expansion. You stand at the threshold of understanding, where life's journey reveals itself not as a linear path, but as an elegant spiral of continuous awakening. The universe whispers its deepest wisdom through the rhythm of expansion, each experience not a repetition, but an invitation to ascend. Imagine your life as a magnificent helix, where what appears to be familiar ground is actually a higher vantage point. Each challenge you've encountered, each triumph you've celebrated, is not a mere incident, but a sacred turn of your personal evolution. The cycles you once perceived as frustrating loops are, in truth, graceful elevations carrying you toward broader horizons. Irene Boyd discovered this truth when she began observing her life's pattern with reverence instead of resistance. Her successes were not endpoints, but gateways. Each achievement opened a wider corridor of possibility, beckoning her toward grander expressions of her potential. Where once she might have settled, she now recognized each accomplishment as a stepping stone to more expansive landscapes of experience. Maurice Pratt embodied this understanding perfectly. Instead of growing impatient with repeated lessons, he learned to see them as refinement, like a craftsman polishing a precious stone, turning it slowly to catch light from different angles. His former limitations became sacred platforms from which new dreams could launch. The cosmic dance of creation moves not in straight lines, but in spiraling rhythms. What seems like return is actually progression. Each time a theme reappears in your life, it carries deeper nuance, more subtle understanding. You are not trapped in repetition, but spiraling upward, gathering wisdom with each elegant turn. This perspective transforms frustration into fascination. Challenges are no longer obstacles, but opportunities for calibration. Your consciousness expands not through force, but through gentle, persistent awareness. Each cycle brings you closer to your essential self, stripping away what no longer serves, illuminating what remains true. Tonight, as the day settles and quiet descends, you are invited to a sacred practice of perspective. Review your growth not with judgment, but with compassionate observation. See your life cycles as upward turning rings, each complete revolution bringing you to a clearer, more refined resonance. Take a moment to appreciate how each experience has polished your understanding. Trace the spiral of your journey, noting how what once seemed challenging now appears as a necessary step toward your current wisdom. Feel gratitude for the elegant movement of your personal evolution. Chapter 33. The Bridge of Intention. In the quiet corners of her modest apartment, Jeannie Dale watched her dreams dissolve like mist, each wish tossed half-heartedly into the universe without true conviction. She had become an expert at casting hopes, light as confetti, fragile as soap bubbles, never truly believing they would land, transform, or take root. The universal teaching whispers a profound truth. Intention is not mere desire. Desire floats, weightless and wistful. Intention, by contrast, is an anchored expectation, an energetic bridge meticulously welded by unshakable certainty. Where desire trembles and questions, intention stands resolute. Gordon Tate understood this principle intimately. He did not wish, he chose. When he set his focus, it was not from a place of desperate longing, but from a deep, tranquil knowing. His intentions emerged from an inner landscape of calm clarity, where possibility was not a distant dream, but an imminent reality. Imagine intention as a precise signal, not a scattered transmission. Most humans broadcast their wishes with static, doubt, fear, and hesitation interfering with the pure frequency. But Gordon transmitted his desires with the precision of a laser, cutting through uncertainty. When he decided something, the universe did not merely listen, it responded. Obstacles that once seemed immovable became permeable. Opportunities that appeared random revealed themselves as meticulously orchestrated pathways. His calm assurance was not arrogance, but a deep understanding of the creative principle. Clear decision backed by inner peace becomes a command signal. The difference between Gordon and many others was not talent or luck, but the quality of his inner dialogue. While others negotiated with possibility, he conversed with probability as though it were an obedient servant. His intentions were not requests. They were declarations. You stand at a similar threshold. Your wishes can remain scattered confetti, or they can become bridges of manifestation. The choice resides in the depth of your conviction, the steadiness of your inner knowing. The universe does not respond to weakness. It resonates with clarity. When you form an intention, do so with the same certainty you know the sun will rise, with the same trust you have in gravity. Your expectation is the blueprint, your calm is the construction crew, and your inner peace is the foundation. Practice becomes the bridge between understanding and embodiment. Form one deliberate intention today. Hold it with calm assurance while walking, breathing, and smiling as though message and delivery are simultaneous. Chapter 34. The Return to Source. In the grand tapestry of existence, you are learning that nothing truly ends, only transforms. Your journey through life is not a linear path, but a sacred dance of energy, constantly shifting, renewing, and expanding. Just as water does not die when it evaporates, but merely changes form, your experiences are not final destinations, but sacred passages. Josie Kerr once lived in perpetual fear of endings, seeing each conclusion as a loss, a wound, a termination of possibility. Her world was a landscape of anxiety, where every closing door represented abandonment rather than opportunity. But wisdom whispered a different truth, that endings are not conclusions, but portals. The universe does not know finality. It knows only continuous movement, eternal recycling of energy from one expression to another. Each moment you perceive as an ending is actually a reunion with the infinite source, a return to the formless potential from which all creation springs. Your experiences are like brush strokes on a cosmic canvas, each one contributing to a masterpiece far larger than what your limited perception can comprehend. When Clifford Snow learned to embrace this understanding, his entire relationship with life transformed. Instead of mourning what was lost, he began to celebrate what was possible. He recognized that gratitude was the alchemical key that transmuted endings into beginnings. Each time something concluded in his life, he would pause, breathe deeply, and acknowledge the journey with profound appreciation. This perspective is not passive acceptance, but active reverence. It requires you to see beyond the physical appearance of things and recognize the underlying energetic truth. Every conclusion carries within it the seeds of a new creation. Every goodbye is a hello waiting to be spoken. Every loss is a reconfiguration of potential. The interpretation of this wisdom is clear. Surrender is not defeat, but a celebration of infinite continuity. When you release your grip on how things should be, you open yourself to how they could be. You become a conscious participant in the dance of creation rather than a fearful spectator. Your practice now becomes a sacred ritual of transformation. When something closes in your life, be it a relationship, a job, a phase of learning, you are invited to bless it softly. Thank its energy for the service it has provided. Acknowledge its role in your journey with genuine gratitude. And then, watch. Watch how new vibrations begin to gather just beyond the horizon, like dawn preparing to emerge. Feel the subtle shift in your energy as you release the old and become receptive to the new. When something closes, bless it softly. Thank its energy for service and watch how new vibrations gather just beyond the horizon. Every audiobook on this channel is a doorway, but the full map of the metaphysical laws lies beyond what I can reveal in any single video. That map is shared privately inside our free newsletter, The Hidden Collection. Join now and receive a free copy of the Kybalion, the original text that first revealed these metaphysical laws to humanity. Limited time only. Conclusion. You stand at the threshold of understanding, where the invisible meets the tangible, and reality bows to the resonance of your innermost being. The journey through frequency and manifestation has revealed a profound truth. You are not separate from the creative force of the universe, but its very expression. Every challenge, every moment of transformation has been a gentle unveiling of your true nature. You are not a receiver of life, but its creator. The universe does not happen to you. It happens through you. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are not random occurrences, but precise instruments tuning the great cosmic instrument. Mastery is not about controlling external circumstances, but about aligning your internal landscape with the vibration of what you wish to experience. It is a return to a state of innocent knowing, where desire and manifestation flow as naturally as breath. You have learned that struggle dissolves when you recognize your fundamental connection to the source of all creation. The metaphysical frequency is not a complex mechanism, but the pure expression of love becoming aware of itself. It is consciousness dancing, transforming thought into form, emotion into experience. You are both the dancer and the dance, the creator and the creation. In this moment, you understand that your power lies not in forcing outcomes, but in becoming a clear channel of intention, joy, and trust. The universe does not distinguish between your inner world and the reality you perceive. They are one continuous, responsive field of infinite potential.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.